All right, guys. So here is my Insta360 One X2 video setup. So Bobby asked, GS48 asked me to do a video, and I said, what the heck? Why not? I got the time. So this is the setup I have. I'm just going to start with just the mounting. It's just a GoPro. It's a RAM mount. Uses obviously the GoPro, I guess, generic type poles and everything. But so you can adjust it any way you want. It's also a RAM mount here. And I like to put it in this angle because, as you can see, it's straight, it's centered. You know, you don't really have, it doesn't really matter which way you turn this. I like to keep it this way because the stitch lines are like, I don't know if you guys can see right here. And obviously I'm using my GoPro setup because it's just easier. I always talk with my hands anyway. But you know what I might do? Let's just turn the camera on. And maybe I can just mix the video. You guys can see my GoPro set up so you can just see everything. So, and that's just simple as that. And then once it's on, and she records. It's just a piece of cake. So now I'm recording so you guys can see me. And you can see that I have a GoPro set up where there is no cables. There's nothing. This is what I love about this GoPro. Although, I mean, it's a little bit thicker here. The device for sound is on the back. And this is just a bigger, so it's a little bit thicker than the standard Hero 4. But it's clean. I just wish that this thing had stabilization and the resolution was a little better, because then it would be a perfect camera. Now, the battery doesn't last as long with this mic setup that I have on my GoPro here, but you can plug it in and, you know, and then just have another cable going in if you want to, whatever. But really here to talk about is the 360 camera. So also, now we're back to the camera here. So you'll see that it's got the little adapter on the side for the mic. There's no way to plug a mic into the camera. You know, you have to buy this adapter, which I don't understand why they don't have something that's just simple to plug in like that. But it's the adapter is, you know, just a simple C connection, and it's inexpensive. It's not like the GoPro ones, and it just kind of just, well, I only just show you about here. It also has another USB to C, so you can charge this while you're going down the road. So, and then it just clips right back in. And then also you guys can see that it runs, the camera needs to have, or for your sound anyway, you have to have the 2 rubber O-rings. Not that these things come with 3 and 2. Let me just get this one over here. I have to use an adapter because, as you can see, this is 3, this is 2. You need 2 for the voice to work. So when you're buying, let's see, where is it? Okay. When you're buying, you know, your lavalier mic or whatever you're doing, your adapters, make sure it's 2 going into the camera. And that's the most important thing. And I don't know, I just have what I have here because I have so much GoPro stuff and lavalier mics. But I'm looking to get, I like the right angle one, and I like the idea that it unplugs like this little adapter here. But I want to get a different ones where I don't have to have all these little adapters. But that's not a big deal. But like I said, it has to be 2 O-rings going in here. Obviously, you know, it has to be the same in your headset. So, but that's it. So that's the setup. And I'm going to shut this back off. I just wanted to show you what the GoPro looked like on my helmet here. So, all right, so we're going to walk over. So now it's just stopped, not a problem. So we'll walk over to the helmet. As you can see, my messy garage, but it's temporary. Hopefully I'll find a shop soon, but it does the job. So here we go. So it's pretty much, let me see if I need some light in here because I know it's not going to be, so let me grab this here. And we'll just put a flashlight in here. So, and as you can see, you see a mic here, and that you guys can just like disregard. I'll explain that in a second. But basically that's it. I just wire it, you know. The lavalier mic wires are really long, so I just kind of just fold it up and, you know, run it through. You probably can't see. Well, maybe you can see a little bit in there and stuff. And it doesn't affect, I don't feel it or anything on my head or anything like that. And that's it. That's just a little setup. I use you know, a standard, let's see. Let me come over here, folks, and just show you. Okay, this is what I used for my new mic setup. It's a double mic because I want to record my buddies when we talk so they can hear what, you know, both conversations. With the GoPro I'm wearing now, I have a center device, and I'm using my center device and headset, I didn't probably explain it to before, to talk, and to record. So I don't need any cables, no wires. It's just great. It's a great setup, and it records the conversation, so it records both. So I can either, you know, if I'm riding with somebody and we got our headsets on, you can get both conversations. So that's why I just put this in. Just put this in. It has a nice little slot. That's a mic, so it'll pick up what I hear, and so it's a dual mic setup. So it's great if you want to, if you have a set, if you want to record. You got your headset. I run a Sena 50 S50, I guess. I forget what model it's called, and it's their latest one, the top of the line, and it seems to work good. And some guys use Cardio. They claim it's better, but I don't have any issues with Sena. So yeah, so basically that's why I have a split. But you don't really need it. I mean, it's a moot point for guys that they're not going to do that. You just need one setup. I recommend using the Dead Cat. I did my video with. Let me just see if I can put this down here. Okay, with the this goes right there, and with the just a little sock on it, and it was a little noisy. Then I didn't like. So I don't know, just noisy. I just didn't like it that noisy, and the Dead Cat seems to absorb it. So, yeah. So it just sticks in there. It doesn't bother me. I never feel it. And when I need to record, I just pull this down and plug it in the mic. And then when I'm not, I just push it out of the way. It doesn't bother me. It works out great. And so that's it, folks. That's it. That's a simple setup. And you see some of the cables and wires and stuff like that, but you don't feel it or anything like that. So it works out great. And we'll go back to the mic. And back to the mic. We'll go back to the camera. Now, the camera's still on. I just shut the recording off. But all you do is hit the power button on the side. It shuts everything off. So there are some limitations to this camera, and I'll speak to them real quick. It doesn't have the good resolution of the latest GoPros, or either the 8s or the 10s. And then if you zoom in and out, you tend to lose some of the resolution. But you can. But what's good about the camera is you can pick up so much more. So you don't have to worry about turning your head, moving around, looking for something. You never miss a shot. So that's where the good point is. And then also, you do have a little distortion. A lot of times you guys will see my mirrors that they look funny because there's more of a distortion because the lens is 230 degrees. It's both 230-degree lenses, and they overlap each other. So you're going to get distortion. But I don't like all the stuff on my helmet. I like a clean helmet, and so you give up that, that first-person view. But I don't enjoy watching my videos when I use my GoPro because I tend to move my head around so much, and I always like to move my head around. I just do. I just love to look in the mirrors. I'm always turning, and it's very annoying for me to watch. Maybe if I had stabilization, which this camera doesn't have, that might, stop a little bit of the jerkiness. But I don't really like it, and I don't like anything on my helmet if I don't have to. The only reason I like this setup is because it's super, super clean. And you don't have to have anything extra on the helmet. The only problem is the battery life is very short when you're doing something like this. Even though there's an internal battery on the device that Sena, I don't know if I explained it to you, Sena sells this device to go back. They still sell it, in fact. It's like $50. They go back on a Hero 3 or Hero 4. And although that has a battery too, it doesn't seem to last too long. But getting back to the 360, so you lose a little bit of that. The 10 has that crisp resolution. I'm thinking of maybe getting a 10, but I don't want the medium mod. Everything is so bulky. I don't understand two things. Why can't they make an internal mic? They have, you have external mic that picks up all the ambient noise and stuff, but why can't you just plug one in? I don't see why that's so hard. Motovlogging is huge. And another thing I don't understand is not everybody, but most people have some type of a headset, a Sena device or a Cardio. Why can't you just Bluetooth into the camera? It would make it so much simpler if you could Bluetooth right into the camera. Now you don't need any of these cables or any of these wires hanging anywhere, and it just becomes a simple setup. Whether you're using a GoPro or Insta360, it just makes it so much simpler. But so that's it. So that's it for the setup. I'm thinking about getting a GoPro, but I don't know. This GoPro is fine. I don't really need to have. See my productions, folks. They're not high dollar, high resolution. And they're not dramatic or anything like that. It's just an average guy, and I'm always stuttering and stumbling over stuff half the time, not getting the proper words out. But, I do some editing, but I try to just go with it, and, whatever happens, whatever it sounds like. So that's it. I'm going to probably go for a ride today, and I don't know what we'll talk about. Maybe I'll just talk about the GS again, and, I don't know. I'll figure something out to talk about the GS after the 15,000-mile review, which I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it wasn't a super duper type of video. A review like the pros do, but it's just an average guy and just whatever pops in my head. So that's it for the 360. If you have any other questions about the 360, just let me know. I'll give you part numbers and all that, and you can see how my setup is. But it's really simple, super simple. All right.